Okay, it's 7 o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. You join me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everyone. A little bit of administrative information. The exit's over here, the exit that you came in. Please silence all your cell phones, pagers, smartphones, all that good stuff, your watches, so that we don't get interrupted. We'll be following the rules and procedures adopted by the board on February 2nd of 22, and the town board resolution allowing participation via video conference of Town of Farmington Resolution 326 of 2020. We do have our town engineer online today, and we are missing one of our members, but we will go from there. Next item up is the approval of the minutes of last meeting. Everybody have a chance to review those. Anybody have any comments? Have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
So
Have a second?
second by Tim.
Second, okay. Any other comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, we got a unanimous approval. Legal notices were published Wednesday, May 11th of 2022. We will be following the order in the agenda that are on the table over there. If anyone didn't sign in, please remember to sign in. First item up is special use permit public hearing, PB 0201-22, special use permit for Lloyd Twitchell. Can you please tell us what's going on?
Basically, I'll be doing the same thing as I have done for the last 8 years, I think it is.
Right.
Paying farm equipment and construction equipment to a lot of local businesses, repair their equipment, so.
Cool.
Pretty much everything's just staying the way it has been.
Pretty much the same, just that we now get a special use permit instead of what we did before. Come on.
Exactly. Lloyd is the first case where we used the temporary use permit provisions in the code to give a test run, if you will, to a use that wasn't previously allowed in the code. But by temporary use permit powers, the zoning board of appeals issued an initial 2-year period and then reviewed it for 5 years. He's at the end of the 5-year period, and now the town board has, based on a great clean record of operation, provided regulations for special use permit to allow the repairs to the agricultural equipment and construction equipment, not only in the A80 district where he lives, but also in the limited industrial and general industrial districts.
Okay.
So I am very pleased to see that this test proved, and he does have a special site plan that was approved by the planning board back in 2018, I believe it was. There's, to my knowledge, been no changes to that. I'll leave it to Dan to tell you if there's any issues in the file on the project, but I have drafted 2 resolutions tonight to move forward and approve the special use to continue with the existing conditions out there.
Okay, we have a secret classification, which is a secret classification.
You have the resolution.
Yes, you do have a seeker. It is a type 2 action.
That's what I thought. Okay, and then we have determination, then we have the resolution to approve with conditions. No conditions on it? Okay. All right, Dan.
Yeah, Ron summed this up nicely. Looking at the file, we don't have any issues during the temporary use permit that, he had two, for the one for the 2 years and one for 5 years.
Mhm.
And as he says, he's been doing this for almost 8 years. So, I think we're in a good spot. We do have a approved site plan that I am displaying on your screens right now, just for your review, but that was approved by this board, back in, I believe, 18 and around set. So, realistically, we went through the procedures, we went through the process with the zoning board. I think we're in a good spot.
Okay, cool. Highway,
I have no comment.
okay, engineering,
MRB has no comments on this application.
okay. So the next item up here, this is a special, or this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak for or against the PB 02-01-22, Lloyd Twitchell, special use permit? Again, I'll say here and online, anyone here to speak for or against this application? Okay, we'll move to the board. Aaron.
Staff answered all my questions.
Cool, thank you. Adrian.
I am also.
Tim.
I'm good as well.
Wow, that's quick. Okay, I don't have anything either. So we have 3 resolutions in front of us. The first is the secret classification of a type 2.
Actually, it reads as unlisted.
Unlisted, that's my fault.
I'm sorry.
That was my fault.
Okay, we have an unlisted secret classification. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve the resolution as presented?
Motion by Tim.
Motion by Tim, seconded by
Adrian.
Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia,
Aye.
Aaron Sweeney,
Aye.
Adrian Bellis,
Aye.
Ted Henry.
Aye. Okay, next would be a secret determination of non-significance. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that resolution as presented?
Motion by Tim.
Motion again by Tim, seconded by Aaron. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia.
Aye.
Aaron Sweeney.
Aye.
Adrian Bellis.
Aye.
Ted Henry.
Aye. Next item would be the actual special use permit resolution. Again, waive the reading and approve the resolution as presented.
Make a motion.
Motion by Aaron, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Lucia.
Aye.
Aaron Sweeney,
Aye.
Adrian Bellis. Ted Henry.
Aye. You're good to go. All approved, taken care of. The staff will have all the resolutions for you and, John will get you the resolution. So you're good to go.
I'm not sure who I sponsor on this, but maybe you guys, when you guys do the carnival, do you want me to bring the monster truck down for display on like Saturday?
I think you got a guy right behind there who can help you out with that.
We've done it before, so as long as I don't have a show that week, I can come down with it. For the display to get well it. That'll work. Alrighty.
Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, got that. Thank you. Okay.
He wants a reserved parking
Yeah. If you don't have a spot, just make sure it's right over top of his truck.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Next item up is a subdivision public hearing, PP 0503-22. Preliminary 2-lot subdivision public hearing. Who do we have?
My name's Mike.
Mike, how you doing?
I both Jesse's and D&E
Okay,
here on behalf of Dave Barman and family.
yep.
Um,
Just tell us a quick overview of what you got going on. This is the subdivision, not the actual site plan, so it's a subdivision, then we'll turn it to staff.
I'll give you a quick summary.
Yep.
Basically, is requesting preliminary subdivision approval as the first step towards subdividing a proposed lot to build a single-family house in Munster. Looking to build a house in the future here, so
Okay.
we're starting the process to cut that lot. Overall parcel is 99 acres. And he's looking to cut a 12-acre lot. The way the property sits, it fronts on both Brownsville and Crowley Road.
Okay,
The proposed lot intends to meet all the zoning district lot standards, zoned rural residential. We did do some the initial site plans to make sure that the property could do a standard septic system, which is what we based a lot of standards off of. So once I understand it tonight, it's just preliminary subdivision approval will come back in the future for talk about the house layout and septic and stuff like that, but if there's any questions on the subdivision, I'll be happy to answer.
Well, we'll find out what staff has, and when there's a public hearing, we'll see what the public has. Excuse me, so next one up is Ron. What do we got, Ron?
Okay, did some resolutions for you tonight.
Yep.
Which have been posted and sent to the applicant,
Mhm.
and sent to here as we do to everyone. The action is an unlisted action.
Okay,
Just to clarify, the reason it's an unlisted action is because they had to prove that the soils could accept a conventional system in order to determine the lot width, okay? Because we have the provision in the code, if it has to have a raised system that requires larger frontage than if it has a conventional one.
Mhm.
Because that additional information was shown, it moved it from a type 2 action to an unlisted action.
okay,
So you've got the parts 1, 2, and 3 of the short environmental assessment form. You got the draft resolution to accept the classification of unlisted. You got a resolution to make a determination of non-significance on the subdivision,
Mhm.
and a resolution to approve the subdivision with conditions.
okay,
And we received a letter today, response back from DME on the conditions, and I understand that they don't have any issues with them.
okay.
So, I think we're good to go.
And it is in the subdivision approved building lot, or is it not yet? Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody was clear on it.
The application is only for something.
Correct,
It's
okay.
gotta go through site.
Site plan to determine whether it's an approved building. Okay, just want to make sure that everybody here understands. Dan,
Yeah, this is just preliminary subdivision, again, drawing some lines on a map.
Yep.
The big thing, Ron covered all of the technical stuff. Big thing I want to propose to the board is if you guys would be open to doing final subdivision and preliminary site plan at your next meeting, or if you want those separate. I know sometimes with single families, we do those in one night.
I think final subdivision and preliminary site plan be fine. Do you think?
Two separate actions.
Two separate actions, but same night.
Yeah, that's absolutely, it would not be one action, it would be
Correct.
two separate actions, you would have to do the final subdivision first, and
Right.
then move to site plan. But,
I don't think we have a problem with that. So I don't think there's a problem. So press on with that.
all right, that's really all I have at this point.
I want to ask, Brooklyn, are you okay with that? Good, thumbs up?
Yeah, anything from my way?
No comments.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Again, this is on the preliminary two-lot subdivision, drawing lines on a map. It is not on the actual site plan itself. Just want to make sure. Oh, we are here. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, engineering. I missed one staff. Colin, what do you got for us? Anything?
No comments on this one.
See, I knew that. Sorry about that. Okay, this is a public hearing. Do I have anyone here to speak for or against this application?
So this is just one house.
Pardon me,
It's
please
just
state
one-
your name and address.
Hi, Julie Warner, 571 Crowley Road.
Okay,
So this is just one house.
the subdivision is for two lots, but you can answer.
Yeah, I'll answer. It's subdividing one lot off the farm area.
Okay.
That's 12 acres for one house in the future. Yep.
Okay.
The rest are gonna remain farm, and it's mostly
Okay.
like the swamp and the trees there.
Yeah.
And then just
Okay.
Robert Warner, same address. We kind of were under the impression they were building this,
A
whole-
subdivision,
yeah, a
that's
whole-
what we thought.
a whole slew of houses back there.
And don't think that's the plan, at least not right now. While they own it, I don't think that's the plan. Well, you never know what can happen in the future, in the long term, you know how that goes, but I'm not gonna say it. But right now, I don't think that's the plan anyway, it's even close.
As long as I know, there'll be nothing else.
Okay, there you go. Anyone else like to speak for or against this application? One more time, anyone who's here to speak here or in online to speak for or against this application for preliminary two-lot subdivision, PB 0503-22. Okay, next up will be the board. Tim,
No, okay.
Aaron, Adrian. Same here. I think all the questions were answered. I think we're good to go. We'll close the public hearing and move forward with a seeker classification of unlisted. We have a resolution. Do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that secret resolution? Motion by Tim, second by Aaron. Any other comment? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Next one up is secret determination of non-significance. Motion to waive the reading and approve the resolution. Motion by Tim, second by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Next item up is a preliminary subdivision resolution with conditions. Applicants okay with the conditions? Okay, do I have a motion to waive the reading and approve that preliminary subdivision resolution with conditions? Moved by Tim, seconded by Adrian. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Nate, Mike, appreciate it. On to the next step, and like I said, we can do final subdivision and preliminary site plan the same night.
That's perfect.
You know, we'll get moving forward. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next item up, we have some discussions about the MTOD and MSOD review. Ron sent out some additional, thank you guys. Ron sent out some additional or some modified MTOD with MSOD included. We, I think we all had a chance to review it. It was a new document, so there was a lot there. Ron, you want to talk about it real quick? I haven't heard any input, by the way, so.
Okay, well, hopefully, I captured Doug's concerns. He
Yep.
wanted to know if we could combine the MTOD with the MSOD. And upon review, I found that Dan and I are smarter than we look, because we already did that when we adopted the local law earlier this year. And so this regulation, which was originally only oriented towards the MTOD, now
Yep.
is the MSOD review.
Mhm.
Secondly, there were a number of landscaping guidelines that Doug had provided from another community. We looked at them. Basically, a lot of them made good sense, good recommendations, and they've been included in this. So what we have here now is, I believe, standard guidelines, which are covered not only by local law number 6 of 2009, but by the local law that was passed earlier this year for the town board for amendments to chapter 165, section 100. So with that in article 16 of town law, I believe we now have volumes of guidelines to help the development of corridors, the main corridors here in town.
Okay, so our action tonight is for a motion to approve the document.
Well, it's for discussion.
I know.
I didn't draft the
I
resolution
understand.
necessarily.
Well, we can just make a motion to approve the document if we don't have any other change.
These guidelines are written in the form of a resolution.
Right,
which ends, if I'm correct, on page 24, 25, that these guidelines are adopted
okay,
and for the calendar year 2020.
okay,
Now, keep in mind, every year,
yeah, we review them again every year. Okay,
I think we're good to go this year.
cool. Dan,
No, I appreciate Ron giving me some credit here, but he's the mastermind behind these documents and making sure that we're on the straight and narrow, getting them approved. So I truly agree with Ron on all the comments of the review. We appreciate Doug's comments as well. I think we're in a good spot.
cool. Highway Tim,
I'll have to apologize. I've been a little busy lately and I haven't gotten a chance to read through it yet. So,
Well, if you have insomnia, you want
I don't think I'll have that problem tonight.
well, I would dare say in the future, if you want to review them, please let staff know so we can adjust them as needed. I think they're pretty standard. I don't think you're gonna find a whole lot in there that's gonna be of any issue, but go ahead and take your time, and like I said, when you do need something to fall asleep, then you can grab that, okay? Okay, anyone in the audience like to comment on the MTOD, MSOD review? Don, anything? Okay, up to Aaron.
No, I went through it and my comments that I had before on them. And I think
Adrian. Tim.
Yeah, I thought it was an exciting read. Wouldn't put me to sleep. I'm okay.
And engineering, because I forgot again, does engineering have anything, Colin?
Nope, nothing on this.
Yeah, I knew that. Okay, so, do we have a motion to adopt the MTOD and MSOD review resolution?
The regulations are in the form of a
Yeah, right, that's why we need an adoption of the
It's
resolution that was presented in the form of a document.
a motion to accept.
Motion to adopt. Moved by Adrian, seconded by
Tim.
Tim, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Jim DeLucia.
Aye.
Aaron Sweeney.
Aye.
Adrian Velez.
Aye.
Ed Henry.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Next item up, Monarch Matter 2, surety release. Colin, we're okay with that one? Everything's good?
I believe so.
Anything else with staff?
No, this is for the earthwork only for the detention pond. That has been completed and inspected. There still is in the letter of credit a line item for the balance of the detention pond facility. If you haven't seen it, you should drive by over there on Town Line Road and take a look at it.
Nice.
So just to add on to that a little bit, when you do drive by it, it looks like it was just done. It has been seeded. They're hoping the seed will pop here. If it's not, then they're going to.
That's a reaching.
Straw and stuff on top of it, but they don't want to put straw on because it's going to the pond. So they're trying to get it to pop without putting it on there.
Okay, any other comments on this before we go? Okay, do I motion to approve the surety release for Monarch Matter 2? Moved by Adrian, seconded by
Aaron.
Aaron, any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please.
Jim DeLucia.
Aye.
Aaron Sweeney.
Aye.
Adrian Velez.
Aye.
Ed Henry.
Aye. Ron, you're up. Director of Development, open discussion.
Yeah, next Tuesday, town board has a local law for amending chapter 165. Some new definitions, supplementary regulations for erecting commercial speed signs in the LI and GI districts, and supplementary regulations for accessory structures. And finally, the special use permit criteria that you've all looked at for many warehouses is under consideration. So that's the first thing that's on the agenda.
Okay.
The next thing that's on the agenda is we are still waiting on Farmington Market Center to provide us with the traffic generation data that we understand is being worked on. So that won't be back on the town board agenda in the near future.
You got it from GLN and from the other.
No, do not have it.
You only have GLN, you're waiting for two.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. And then, the other thing is they continue to make progress over there at Hathaway's Corners. Dan took me over today to look at it. Very pleased with what we're seeing over there. Sidewalks in this cemetery. Dog park is up and operational. It's coming together nicely. And then finally, Dan and I had to go out today because they're starting detention facilities for section 8S of Auburn Meadows, the last section of Auburn Meadows.
Yeah, I knew it was getting close finally.
And there's a little issue there about where they think the design of the detention facility is in relationship to where the trail is. So we may have to readjust the trail in order for that to work. But we're working on that, and we'll be meeting next week with the applicant and developers for an incentive zoning site over here on 96 between Collette Road and west of County Road 8.
Okay. Okay, Dan, you're up.
All right, unfortunately, my report is not as short as Ron's, so, but we're gonna try to update you about a bunch of different things. So
Good.
your next meeting, you have CAP's preliminary site plan.
Yep.
You guys did the subdivision, now he's moving on to make that a buildable lot. You have the Bowerman Road 2-lot subdivision, that's a final. They were here a while ago for the preliminary, so they're coming back for finals. And then you also have Hathaway's Phase 2B, which is final site plans for the apartments section. You guys already approved the preliminary overall for all pathways, so this is coming back, and this is the apartments. So you only will be looking at the final for that section.
In the middle or the?
Southeast.
So it's right where you come off of 332, almost near the other apartments.
Okay.
That corner between there and like Carmen's Way. So that will be coming to you guys shortly for your review. Staff is in the process of reviewing it this week, and we'll get it out to you next Wednesday for your guys to start reviewing that. So those are for your next meeting, and then the other June meeting is going to be pretty much dedicated to Farmbrook with that continuing public hearing, I believe, with the subdivision there. So, all right. So now to go into my true updates here. A couple projects I know the board is interested in. We're going to start with GLN. As you guys know, because I reported to you at your last meeting, we were having issues with stabilization out there, and I'm not working because of the ground soil situation. They have started back working this week. They did the head wall and concrete gutters. That was on the Mercer, thank you, Mercer side. So you wouldn't be seeing that for 96. So they were on site doing some work there. They are going back to the 96 side of things the end of this week, the beginning of next week. Next week, they do plan on hydro seeding. Early next week is what they're telling me, and they're talking about paving in the cul-de-sac over on Mercer and start trying to get that road in. So hopefully next week you're going to see their stabilization completed, which will be a good thing.
Very good thing.
Yes. Burger King, the stop sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in 2 weeks ago, just not in the location. So they received it, they just haven't put it up yet.
Okay.
So we're working on that. CVS, if you've driven by it all this week, you would know that the grass is very, very tall.
You think?
They did get a violation. They had people out there cutting it tonight.
Oh, you got a ballot.
Well, I don't disagree. Create Escape is the other big one that isn't mowing the yard down the road. The new people that are buying it and will be coming to you guys here shortly for a site plan has been contacted, and they are going to take care of it because they don't want any roadblocks. So they're going to start mowing it so that they can keep that moving forward. And then the last one I'm going to report on is Myers, all in the same corridor here. They're doing concrete work this week, and they're going to be putting their top on it, their parking lot next week. And they are still guaranteeing me before May 31st, all the landscaping will be done. There are 2 landscaping crews out there now, seeding and grading and putting some vegetation in. They are having a little trouble with what was presented for the pond out back, for the vegetation around that. So they're looking at some alternatives in the same species to just get that planted, just because there's some shortages on some of the plants. But we thought as long as they were in the same species and doing the same things, I'll run it through engineering, of course, but as long as they say it's good, we should.
Okay. That's it?
I think that's enough, right?
Well, it's more than enough, it's the truth. Tim?
We had a town cleanup a few weeks ago that went well. Quite a few residents used it. We have been doing a little bit of work in Beaver Creek Park, just some of the issues up there. Town Lang Road, we were scheduled to do some milling and shimmer on that road, but it didn't turn out to work out, so I took advantage of the paver being available and paved Loomis Road.
There you go. Thanks. Cool. Anything else?
Town Line Road will be going here in a couple weeks.
Cool, cool. Colin, what do you got?
So MRB is currently working on putting together PDFs and physical copies of the newly revised site design criteria manual and details. That will also include a fillable form version of the PDF for the stormwater mains agreement. Other than that, we're just working through the reviews we have in front of us.
Cool, thank you. Okay, public, anything? Don, what do you got? Anything? Sir, anything? Comments? Hey, any comments?
A well-oiled machine, minus that balance there.
Okay, for me, I don't have, okay, I'm sorry.
You have one person online.
Oh, I have one person online. You have a person online. Do you have any public comment for us? One more time. Anyone online have a comment for us? Okay. Oh, just saying, we may have a comment.
Not currently.
Okay, good. Okay, for me, I mean, I've been working with staff on a couple things, continue to push on, do what needs to be done. So board, Tim.
Yeah, Doug and I attended the local government workshop at
That's right, yeah.
College. It was very good. A couple of sessions that we attended was, one was a panel discussion on fleet electrification and supporting EV charging stations. It was pretty interesting. I mean, one of the presenters was Fairport. Of course, they have Fairport Electric. So, and they have a number of electric vehicles that they use. They've been successful with. And then another section or another session workshop we attended was solar law, how to empower municipalities in the development of solar projects. I thought Ron would be presenting that. He wasn't there. One of the kernels that I took from that is they were saying that battery storage is coming.
Yeah.
So
I've heard,
you know, municipalities need to consider what that's going to be all about, with linking storage along with solar generation. We attended one that was called Connect All Broadband Initiative. It just, I mean, it wasn't too informative. It just talked about broadband initiative for, you know, communities that in need that didn't have necessarily the resources to have it themselves, but to help to assist bringing it to more people. And then the last one was moving the CEC needle. That's Clean Energy Communities Program, and it was a board member from Lima, who talked about the trials and tribulations of trying to get that into the community of Lima with all the pushback, and but they actually have their own solar generation panels, and they use that to supplement their village. So those are kind of the highlights. I haven't downloaded all my information yet from as a result of attending, but it was a very good session.
Thanks. Ron, anything on the appeal for the solar? Still hanging out?
It's still hanging out there.
I thought it was, but on the other hand, they're beginning construction, correct, out there?
They have started construction. You drive out there, you'll see that they've started some grading.
Yeah.
Tim issued a driveway permit, so they were able to get that started to be installed. I believe they got their construction trailer out there, and the sill fence is up. We're actually issuing the building permit for all the solar panel systems. So,
Cool, yeah, I saw Dave Klein post something on Facebook, so, and he's their environmental,
yes.
whatever.
Environment.
Huh?
Environmental monitoring.
Monitor, there you go. Okay, Adrian,
Yeah, I was gonna grab solar on Fox or whatever, because I saw it yesterday, you put in the driveway.
Yep.
It was pretty far back. So, and then, Dollar General, is that,
It caught fire and exploded.
yeah, I know.
I don't know if you were in the loop, but
But are they tearing it down soon? I thought there was,
well,
there's trucks out there getting lined up in the parking lot.
they'd like to. They're just having some issues with insurance and paperwork. So the town's not allowing them to move forward yet until they get all that straightened out, that we know that they're insured to do that, so.
there you go.
And then the Myers stuff, it's all supposed to be done by the 30th, like was that final build out and everything, or no?
Well, pretty much, everything is supposed to be wrapped by the 31st. There is a couple things that are gonna be into June, just because of availability, but the bulk of it, I would say 98% are going to be done.
And if not, or something changes, I mean, you can throw
Well, I was
fire because of the temporary CFO.
So, yes, they're already on that ledge per se, because they were supposed to be done in the middle of May. But our standard here in the town has always been May 31st to get all landscaping and all that done, so. I said that after that, though, guys, I'm gonna shut down the store. So you figure it out. So I know that there was some serious conversations, they brought in a lot more help. So let's, fingers crossed, I will be out there next week meeting with them, but.
Make sure they know we're serious.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Maybe we'll know, when's our next meeting, first? Is it June 1st, is that a Wednesday?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, so we will know pretty close to that meeting then. Yeah, June 1st, so in 2 weeks.
Admin here, standing tall, and
Maybe
you
I'll
get stuff done.
close to us and we'll know.
You don't wanna do that.
That actually works out great, because I can say that.
Yeah, so we want them standing tall, they're not done.
If they're not done, I'm shutting down, you can plead it to
Yeah.
the planning board, if they will give me direction.
I'm good luck.
Yeah,
And how many times, what on the solar for Fox, how many times do we go out and check that already? Like once a week, or when they have something, is it like building
Yeah,
stuff,
I mean,
when they call in or no?
I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not sending staff out there right now because we're short. So we're only going out when they call for us to go out. I would love to send somebody out on a regular basis, but I don't have staff.
Okay,
No, that's fine, I just.
Aaron,
We still have to do rules and procedures. We
we did that, 2nd of February.
Yeah, that
we
would
do that?
Yep, 2nd of, I believe it was 2nd of February.
Oh, we held that off.
Nope, nope, we approved it 2nd of February 22.
You may have been.
Must be. Now, Countryman, I haven't seen any movement on that. What are they doing?
So, they've been on the PRC and, they keep giving me email updates saying that they're working through it. Their contractor isn't available until later in the summer. So what they want to do is they want to have their pre-construction meeting when their contractor is available, which we also agree with. And then I'm expecting July, August time for you to start seeing movement up there.
They're not gonna time out, are they?
No, their plans are signed.
Okay.
Signed.
Even then, they have a time limit on that, I think it's 2 years, but I mean,
I think we'll be fine.
okay,
You just approved the letter of credit.
okay,
Next meeting.
that's true, okay, I just wanna make sure we don't end up losing anything.
So, I mean, they have traction, it's just not a lot of traction.
Right.
But
Okay,
they've been communicating with us, which we love, so.
that's good.
Okay. And then this is something I just thought about, running past Carmen's Way. When those Mark Freed, when those buildings are all set up and tenants are in there. How does, if there's a lot of traffic there, how do we go about expanding that, that intersection, that Carmen's Way? If it's ever deemed necessary, is that just something you decided to have to come in front of us?
What portion of Carmen's Way?
Carmen's Way and 332.
That was already designed to meet full turning movements by the state DOT.
So there wouldn't be a need to expand that.
Yeah, oh, God.
They have right turn lanes, left turn lanes. It's all there.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, anything else by staff? Anything else online? Motion adjourned by Tim, seconded by Adrian, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thank you. Good meeting.